Now, plans by some manufacturing firms to shut down and withdraw products from the market will not come into effect after all today. This is because government has decided to back down on the strict enforcement of the tax stamp policy. There is more in the following report.
For some firms like Blowman Group, producers of Belacqua mineral water, they might have been forced to shut down their plants if government had really gone ahead to fully implement the tax policy. Food and Beverage Association had earlier asked its members to withdraw their products in protest. But at a meeting between the association and the Ghana Revenue Authority yesterday, government decided to be flexible on the implementation of a tax policy. Samuel Agri speaks for the association.
Or if there's anything that they needed to do, they should strive hard to come into compliance with the tax stamp. The other issue has also been the affixation of the stamps. We have said, and it was also agreed, that whoever that has products in his or her facility that has not been tax stamp affixed, take the process in getting them affixed. And if you have a huge challenge, just give us a call, and we'll assist you in that direction. You take the products either to the facility that they have in Tema to get them affixed. And this is not a one-day thing that has to happen. It's a procedure and it's a gradual process. Because even when you carry your products to Tema, the congestion and all that. So that is why we are saying nobody should panic. The assurance is there for us to comply, and we are going to do that. We are going to assist in that direction. If only the assurances given are kept in good faith. And for now that we've not been given any reason to doubt them, then we'll take it in good faith and then work hand in hand with them. But let me say also that we have the industry side, which the GRA seem to adopt a different strategy. But we have communicated to them that there are all sorts of worry because from their produce comes to the retail market. So the source of worry is that they should be engaged, continually be engaged until we reach a final point where machinery will not be a problem, and then they will also come into compliance.
The tax stamp policy, which was passed in 2014, was expected to fully take off today after several postponements. The tax stamp is more of an advanced sticker with some security features which will be affixed to the top cork of some beverages to act as seals. This is to ensure that businesses pay the right level of taxes, prevent smuggling and counterfeiting. It is unclear for now how this would affect the projected revenue for this tax.
Well, so this is what is happening. The task force for the implementation of the tax stamp policy has given a 3-month transitional period for suppliers to affix the stamps onto affected products. The Commission says it will then withdraw all such goods from the market. Leading member of the task force, Kwabena Donko, led the team to monitor compliance at certain points of sale in Accra. Ebenezer Sabute was with the team and has filed this report.
As part of the implementation activities, the Ghana Revenue Authority Task Force on the implementation of the policy embarked on a tour of some selected shops and point of sale in the capital. Leading member of the team, Kwabena Donko, announced a 3-month grace period for retailers and shop owners to ensure that all affected products such as tobacco, carbonated drinks, water and some others have the tax stamps.
Assume that this product came from either an importer or manufacturer. So for that matter, the importer or from January 1st, they were supposed to affix the stamp. But these goods has come out on the market. So we're asking retailers that they should go to the nearest GRA office and acquire the tax stamp, excise tax stamp, which is free.
Okay, so what's the transition period if maybe in 2 months or a month you come and this thing is still here? Once we have come here, we are trying to educate everybody. And once we have educated them, the next time that we come and it's not fixed, that's when we'll take an action. When would that next time be? It can be, but specifically we are looking at about 3 months. 3 months. Everybody. So we can say we've given them 3 months. Once we are come here, next week, we have been here. Next week, Monday, we will come. And if it's not that, it means that you are not ahead to our... Okay. So we are going around. It's a friendly education that we are giving to everybody.
According to him, the sanctions will apply after the Customs Division intercept any product without the affixed stamp.
Yes, if after the transitional period, if we find these goods on the market, yes, we will withdraw them from the market.
And when we withdraw them, where are you taking them to?
Definitely it will go to customs or GRA offices.
The team on the tour also identified that some shop owners who were not aware of the policy, even though they expressed their willingness to comply. E.M. Commodore Mensah is the retail manager for Airport Shell Mart.
And I'm talking as a rational businessman. The choice is for me to do whatever I have to do to make money. Any obstruction, any temptation that will come my way, nobody should blame me if I sin.
But what we also say is that, Director, what we will say is that there is a law backing this exercise.
And I also said that every law should be enforceable.
It should be.
Otherwise,
and this one is enforceable.
Easily enforceable, if I should
And
add.
it is.
Okay.
It is, to the extent that we have given you a transitional period, a period within which we could sell those goods without any stamps. And we're saying that after the end of the transitional period, you will come to us, take stamps free of charge without payment of the additional taxes, and put the stamps on the product and then sell. What else could you have done?
Meanwhile, Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Emmanuel Kofi Nti, has urged all companies affected by the tax stamp policy to see to it that the measure of ensuring that certified products are sold in the market at the right prices. The implementation of the Tax Stamp Act, which was passed by Parliament in 2013, begins today. Addressing journalists in Accra, Commissioner of the GRA appealed to all affected parties to comply with the law as it augurs well for the state.
We have not deferred any process. Today is the effective day for point of sale implementation, and so we are going to go out there and do that. And so we want to thank you for coming to be with us to help us build the country and make the country a better place, where there's greater accountability, and where the goods being sold on the market are properly accounted for, and then they are of the quality and of the sense that it matters. Before products are legitimized, it should have gone to the Ghana Standards Authority, and even if they are imported, the Food and Drug Authority has to come, the Standards Authority have to come in, Environmental Protection Agency, they all have to come in. It's to ensure the goods that our people consume are of good nature. It's very disheartening to be hearing of the development of these kidney problems, which have become paramount in the country. People labor challenges. It's all because of these products, and they are selling them. They have not paid any taxes. The products have not been certified, and so it's all to help the state remove illicit products in the market, and also to ensure that any product which is being sold has had the tax on them paid. And this is the basis for bringing you here. Government and then the Ministry of Finance and the Ghana Revenue Authority is resolved that excise should contribute its fair share of revenue. In 2010, excise revenue to domestic revenue was 3.4%. This comes down to 1.9% as of 2017. We want the hemorrhage to stop. That's why we have called you to join us, fight the battle, to ensure that our people get to consume good products, that the good product being sold have the requisite taxes paid on them.
Well, away from that, and government has charged the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, GRA, to oversee affordability of housing in Ghana. Deputy Minister for Works and Housing, Eugene Entry, disclosed this at the Ghana Real Estate Development Association's annual breakfast meeting.
Many Ghanaians are marginalized when it comes to the acquisition of decent accommodation facilities. This is so because costs of building and rental are not favorable to the ordinary Ghanaian. According to the Ministry of Works and Housing, over 50% of Ghanaians live in substandard buildings. Speaking at the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association's annual breakfast meeting, Deputy Minister for Works and Housing, Eugene Entry, emphasized quality housing is equally as important as the issue of affordability.
It is good to always consider quality, but affordability is another factor, specifically using new technologies to deliver the desires of the populace, particularly the low-income group, the vulnerable and the excluded. The onus, therefore, lies on you distinguished members of GRA to give up your best in safeguarding the interest of Ghanaians and making sure appropriate standards are complied with for our maximum benefit. In fact, Mr. Chairman, I am so elated that the association chose this year to reflect on homes and how it can make it better by considering the marginalized and the low-income earners in our society.
He also challenged developers to address the housing deficit, which currently stands at over 1.7 million units.
It is a well-known fact to all of us gathered here that the housing deficit in Ghana is estimated to be in excess of 1.7 million units. And this is expected to rise to 2 million housing units by the year 2020, if swift measures are not taken to address it. In addition to this huge housing deficit, it is estimated that over 50% of Ghanaians live in substandard houses. Government, acting through the Ministry of Works and Housing, has recognized the dream of all Ghanaians to own a home, or at least to have a decent rental accommodation. The good news, Mr. Chairman, is that it is never too late, in my view, to pick up the pieces from where we are now and to challenge you, the developers, in partnership with all other stakeholders, to embark on a crusade to confront the worsening deficit.
Among stakeholders which participated in the breakfast meeting include HFC Bank, Omni Bank, MTN Ghana and Tonaton.com. Reporting for Joy Business, Karen Dodu.
Now, advertising firm DigiCat, a subsidiary of Group Indum, is targeting to raise a little over 2.8 million cedis from the investing public. The firm today launched its initial public offering after securing the necessary approvals from the Securities and Exchange Commission to list on the alternate market of the Ghana Stock Exchange. DigiCat Production and Advertising is planning to sell 35 million shares at a price of 8 pesos for each. It becomes the first advertising company to list on the alternate market and the first from GN Group. General Manager Richmond Lamte explained to Joy Business the impact the additional capital would have on the operations of the firm.
What we are looking at is that DigiCat will be sitting here right in Ghana and will receive people from outside of this country to come and train in the best practices in advertising. That is what we want to do. I mean, it doesn't happen like that this time, because when people want to improve their trade, they travel outside to go and improve their trade. But we want to reverse the trend and be so good that people will come from outside of this country to come and learn from us. And so that's what we are looking at doing.
Present at the launch was the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Daniel Ogbami-Tete. He emphasized moves by the regulator to strengthen the capital market.
How well a company does, we believe, has to do with the kind of governance structure that it has. And there are some standards or global best practice standards when it comes to corporate governance. So what we are doing is that there's a draft that we have put together and we are reviewing, and we are going to send it to the market for the market operators and the issuers to also get to understand the provisions in the corporate governance code that we are putting together. Now, the idea is that once we engage the market and we all agree that these standards are ideal and realistic and will help to move our market forward, then once there's that ownership from the issuers, I think it will become easy for them to be compliant.
Meanwhile, President of Group Indum, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum, urged regulators of financial markets to be more supportive of private sector businesses. He joined the launch via Skype from the U.S.
We want to forge a mutually beneficial partnership with our regulators. We don't want to have a relationship, as some of you who are old enough may have heard Verma Azuma Nelson say when he fought someone that to him it was a father and son matter. Well, we want peer-to-peer, colleague-to-colleague relationship, one that brings value to our regulators, brings value to us and then brings greater value to the shareholders in the public that we are looking for. So this is just the beginning, the first of many of our companies that will be listed on the GATS and also on the main exchange.
The minimum amount for subscription is 60 Ghana cedis, and shares are on offer till the 16th of March. In other news tonight, the Trade Ministry is turning to the U.S. government to help convince businesses in their country to invest in Ghana. According to the ministry, the environment is now right for these investors to make some good returns on their investments. The move would also help local businesses tap into the expertise of U.S. firms. Deputy Trade Minister Carlos Ahenkwa was speaking at the opening of an American motorcycle manufacturing company here in Accra.
Harley-Davidson's entry into the Ghanaian market is expected to have a positive impact on the local automobile industry. The move would also help local businesses tap into the expertise of such renowned international automobile firms. Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry Carlos Ahenkwa challenged the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Robert Jackson, to play a leading role in attracting more American businesses into the country.
Well, I mentioned that with the speech given by the President, it is only important that the ambassador helps us to get more U.S. interest into Ghana. And I think that is a call in the right direction, because as we speak, U.S. investors are looking for enabling environments to go and invest their money. And I think Ghana serves as a better place for them to come and invest. When he was giving his speech, he mentioned inaugurating companies like Pizza Hut, a few of the American investments in Ghana here. I want to see bigger ones like McDonald's coming. I want to see bigger ones like international trucks coming. I want to see a lot more bigger investments coming into Ghana.
On his part, the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Robert Jackson, urged government to do more in the assembling sector.
I'm really excited about this. So this is the 9th American company that's opened its doors here in the last 2 years. I think that there's a great niche to be filled here. So, you know better than I do that vehicles are assembled here in Ghana. There's no reason why Harleys can't be assembled here in Ghana. But we've got to grow the market enough so that it makes sense for them to be assembled here.
For Chief Executive of the authorized distributor of the motorbikes, GMEA Group, Wissam Laba, the company is looking at creating more employment as it expands in the country.
Well, Harley-Davidson is an iconic brand, and I think everyone knows what the brand is all about. And it's been around for over 115 years. And these bikes are really the sweetest bikes you can actually drive. I mean, we have good roads in Ghana. It's not like we don't have. You can go to Aburi, you can go to Takoradi, you can go wherever you want. The roads are really good. The bikes are made for it. Look, I guess as we grow, naturally, employment will grow with us. And if the market grows as much as we anticipate, we'll be opening in other areas too.
Ghana is the first in West Africa to receive Harley-Davidson and the second across Africa. Bismarck Awusa's report for Joy Business.
Some players in the local insurance industry are exploring digital products to speed up the duration for payment of claims. Undue delay in payment of claims has been a major concern to many insurance stakeholders and continues to be a setback to insurance penetration. Bismarck Awusa spoke to Vice Chairman of Vanguard Assurance, Dr. Gideon Amenyedo, at the launch of the digital fire insurance and has come through with this report.
Insurance claims in the country have always been characterized by delays which eventually discourage prospective policyholders. This is largely because there are several cumbersome processes involved before claims are finally made. It is against this backdrop that a local insurance company, Vanguard Assurance, decided to come up with a digital fire insurance product. The sole aim is to eliminate some of these bottlenecks in order to ensure prompt payment of fire claims. Vice Chair of Vanguard Assurance, Dr. Gideon Amenyedo, lamented the undue undue delay in payment of claims is undermining insurance penetration.
The value of an insurance policy to an insurer is measured in terms of the claim payment. The swifter the claim is and the insured is compensated, then you feel that it has got value for money. If that policy is issued so fast and is happy at the interim, but there's a claim and there's a burden of bringing one document after the other, fulfilling one righteousness after the other, and the claim itself is delayed because of all those requirements, then he doesn't see benefits. And this has been the case in Ghana. That's how come a lot of people shy away from insurance, and the insurance penetration continues to be below 2%. The critical issue now in this digital age is that how can we use digital technology to reduce that burden, to make it lesser and faster, so that the claim process becomes smoother and easier. The digital fire insurance has really brought out certain burdens out of the game.
Dr. Amenyedo has also lauded the National Insurance Commission, NIC, for its decision to place a cap for injury and death claims.
This is long overdue. All over the French-speaking countries have been capped. When it's capped, definitely you can make reserve for what the claim should be. It's easier to be paid, and for a long time the regulator has talked about this. It's been on a drawing line. So if the JIBA has called for it, it's something which has been on a drawing line for a long time. And we know that the commissioner is working so hard. He's energetic, and from the industry, he himself has a lot of experience in loss adjusting. So he's the right person to get this thing done quickly, and we believe that he's going to do it soon.
Under the new digital fire insurance application, there will be no need for a policyholder to fill an insurance claim form following a fire outbreak in the insured property. Bismarck Ausa, Joy Business.
The Millennium Development Authority says it would not review the new conditions for ECG's takeover. This was after one of the shortlisted companies raised concerns about the amount of money needed to be paid for the takeover of ECG and portions of the agreement. So what are these new conditions that have got some of the companies raising issues with the deal? The following report highlights those issues.
Some of the new requirements would now leave the new owners managing ECG for 20 years instead of the initial 25 years. Ghanaians should also lead the takeover of ECG with some 51% stake in the company. Workers in ECG should also be assured of their jobs. According to the Millennium Development Authority, the three companies that are in the race to be selected to take over ECG are Morocco from Philippines, BXC from China, and EDF from France, with CH Group as the local partners. The winner of this contest should be announced in September this year.
And well, that will lead us to our interview of the day, where the Ghana Trade Fair Company has asked the ECG to disconnect tenants indebted to the power distributor at the center from its main electricity meter. This follows challenges the ECG is facing in recouping debts owed by various companies and clients. Chief Executive of the Trade Fair Company, Dr. Agnes Edu, says this is a smart move to reduce the burden of power tariffs on the company.
Remember, you would have earned your coupon every 6 months anyway. So even if you get out at 99, you would have received your coupons because the coupon payment is constant. It's just that capital will also appreciate by the time you are getting out. So
we have actually figured out what caused the problem, which was that all the tenants were on one meter, and the bill was given to Ghana Trade Fair Company Limited. So really, it wasn't our bill. So ECG has understand that, and they've actually taken the tenants off the main bill or the main meter, and so our bills are quite manageable.
So it means every individual, every tenant is going to pay their own bill?
Absolutely, as they should have been, because if you put everybody on Trade Fair's bill, when the individual doesn't pay the bill, it becomes a problem. So that's even identifying a challenge. Something as small as that can cripple an entire company. And so to even put plans in place to make sure that we address these small things that were holding us back, it was a big deal.
And that certainly ends Business Live tonight. My name is Darryl Kwal. Thanks for watching. We are back same time tomorrow.